Our ride today is the 2009 Ferrari 430 Scuderia. What a vehicle. This is a one-of-a-kind, only made in 2008, 2009. Originally made as the meanest 430 on the track. Well, it equaled the Enzo time, which catapulted this vehicle into supercar status. Well, Ferrari is the crown jewel of the Fiat family, and we'll be looking at this jewel on the inside and out, and we'll start in that engine compartment in the back. We have Steve back from the Gran Turismo store, and Steve, tell me a little bit about this monstrous engine.
Well, Nick, this is a 4.3-liter V8 engine, develops an 11.8 to 1 compression ratio, and puts out a total of 510 horsepower. Yeah. So this is one of the most powerful engines that Ferrari has ever put into a road car.
Well, it must be, because I can tell you there's cars that are actually the same size as this engine compartment. So tell me a little bit about the engine as far as performance is concerned. Is this actually street legal?
It is a street legal car, but it blends together the standard 430 Coupe and the Ferrari 430 Challenge car, which is not street legal. So it's kind of taking the best of both worlds, putting them together into a lightweight version that can be certified for road use and is a road legal car.
Now they've used a lot of carbon fiber in here. It's very apparent when you look into this engine compartment. And is that to reduce weight?
That's right, absolutely right. It's a horsepower to weight ratio equation. So the more power they can give it, the more carbon fiber they can use to take away weight, the faster and more powerful the car will seem to the owner.
So Steve, on the exterior of this vehicle, a lot of Ferrari influences, but slightly different and slightly different styling.
This is a much more aggressive version of the 430, so you can see it right off the bat. It sits 15 millimeters lower. It has more aggressive front spoiler, including carbon fiber elements in the front down low, the carbon fiber headlight buckets, and then the signature 430 Scuderia hood stripe.
Now, you can get that in silver or gold for a little bit extra money?
That's correct. It is not an inexpensive option. It's an $8,200 feature. In gold, you can add $3,000 to that. Comes in at $11,200.
Nice. All right, let's talk about the wheels. These are 19s.
That's correct.
And we have large disc brakes at the front here.
That's right. All Ferraris now use carbon ceramic brakes. 6-piston calipers are standard equipment up front on the Scuderia, and you can see there that the 19-inch wheel is just stuffed full of brake rotor. This car will just stand on its nose when you want to hit the brakes.
And
it's amazing.
You may need to if you go as fast as this vehicle can go. Let's talk about the mirrors. Very significant mirror design, and they look like they do for a reason.
That's right. It's carbon fiber on the Scuderia, which is a nice touch compared to the standard car, but the aerodynamic elements of the car come straight from the wind tunnel at Ferrari. And the mirrors actually help to redirect the air that is going to eventually be taken into the engine compartment through these vents that we talked about on the rear of the car.
And then we got to the back, which we actually saw with the engine earlier on, but there's a nice form and function with a tailpipe design at the back.
That's right. This car has what they call the rear challenge segment, which is a carbon fiber and mesh segment between the tail lights. What that does is it helps to evacuate exhaust gases and the heat that accumulates in the engine compartment more quickly. So it's really all about going fast, being very, very efficient with everything that the car does.
So Steve, on the interior of this vehicle, first of all, low, and is this a metal floor?
It is. It's a raw aluminum chassis inside. So Ferrari has really just tried to cut all the weight elements out of the car that they can, and you'll notice that the floors, the inner fender wells, all of that is just exposed aluminum, and you can see the welds and the craftsmanship that go into the Ferrari.
And very different seats than I was expecting.
That's correct. This is a very aggressive racing seat because the emphasis on this car is track use, but also with the ability to drive on the street. So these seats will hold you in place, and if you like to, you can also put a 5-point harness in. The seats are fully ready to accommodate that feature.
Now, I was expecting to see the largest dial on the dash being the speedometer, but it's actually the tachometer.
That's right. The tachometer is what you want to watch more closely than the speedometer. And in addition to the large yellow-faced tachometer that you're looking at, the top of the steering wheel is carbon fiber, and incorporated into that are what they call their LEDs. And as you approach redline, those lights will light up just like they do on a Formula One steering wheel and actually indicate visually that it's getting close to time to shift.
Now, I'm looking for a shifter or at least something to tell me that I'm in drive, but there's only an R button and an auto button.
That's right. In the center console, you have your reverse button and also the button that would allow you to put it into an auto mode. But this is a manual transmission, Nick, and what you do to interact with the transmission is upshift on the right paddle, which is about 3 o'clock on your position there as a steering wheel, and 9 o'clock is your downshift paddle. The computer controls everything else. There is no clutch pedal in the car. And that's really one of the things that Ferrari initially brought to the market in the mid-90s.
Here are your whys to buy the 2009 Ferrari 430 Scuderia. What a piece of engineering. Over 500 horsepower in the engine. This vehicle goes from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just over 3 seconds. And honestly, if I need to tell you more reasons to buy this vehicle, then you're out of luck. It's a perfect piece of Italian engineering. This car will give you track performance on the road, and you'll do it in style. Let's take a look at the MSRP. The 2009 Ferrari 430 Scuderia has a 4.3-litre V8 engine. It has a 6-speed electro-hydraulic gearbox. Its base price is $282,618. As tested, our in-studio model was $300,051. In the city, you'll get 11 miles a gallon. On the highway, 16. When the Rideshow returns, we're going to find out how you can grab your iPod and take it mobile.